Hi, thank you for joining Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. This is a show that focuses on the art, and art is God-given talent. We strongly believe that you are your passion. Today we have a wonderful show. I have a really good friend on the show. But before we get started, we have prayer requests out for Paula Kennerson. She had surgery, and I believe this is the third time she had the surgery. We got everything together. She's healing wonderfully. She's a retired school teacher for like 30 years.
Okay.
So we want her to get the best care which she's receiving. Family loves her. I love her as well. So Paula, get well. We love you. You know we need you back 100% so you can drive us crazy. So pray for Paula. God bless you. On today's show, we have my friend. I can say friend, right?
Yes.
And I can say D A Rhodes. You want D A Rhodes?
D A Rhodes is wonderful.
D A Rhodes. How are you today?
I am wonderful.
I know,
Andre
right?
Renee,
Look
thank you.
I love it when you call me Andre Renee.
Sound like somebody else we know.
I know, right? Right. So, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, you know what? I was just thrilled and tickled pink when I got the call that you were asking me to be on your show.
See, what happened was my people call your people.
That's right.
Right. So I was
And
like,
then who answered
hello,
first?
yeah, this is Andre's people. Yeah, we want to. And he's like, Andre, is this you? I was like, no. I was like, I'm his people.
Man, quit playing with me.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it.
Yeah, you did. Then you threatened me with Bob.
Well,
and we
yeah.
don't want no problem. We don't want no trouble. What they say now, no smoke. I think that's what they say. I don't
Is
know.
that what the
let's ask our
the lingo
engineers. Is
is?
it called smoke?
They're
And
shaking
they
their
say
heads,
yes. Yeah, that's
Okay.
like 20 something stuff. But we love them, right?
Yeah,
Because
we
without
do.
him, I'm not in a good place. He's
Neither
a
am
wonderful
I.
engineer. So we have Deborah Rhodes, D.A. Rhodes on the show, and you wear many, many hats. You work for this radio station.
Yep.
You are author, and you have the Author's Brunch. And you had a wonderful publishing company in, Oak Brook, was it? Oak Park?
What, Oak Lawn?
Oak Lawn.
Yes,
There was an
that's
oak
where-
in it, right? There was definitely an oak in it. And you had a wonderful new publishing company. I think it was Andre Renee Wright's. Let me try again. I think it's Andre Renee Wright's publishing company.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Weren't you amazed?
I was.
Yeah.
You really did something. You were one of our special guests at the Author's Brunch this past June in Oak Lawn at the Hilton.
Indeed.
And, this is an annual event that we do for independent authors.
Okay.
And it was my dream to have independent authors have a platform
Indeed.
where they can express themselves, showcase their work and themselves to people who may not necessarily get a chance to know them.
Right.
Because we know as independent authors, sometimes it's hard to get out there and get your name and your product known to the masses.
Indeed.
And that's what the whole purpose of the Author's Brunch is.
How long have you had this Author's Brunch?
We are now going into our 7th year.
So this is not brand new.
No, it is not.
This is huge.
It is huge, and we have also branched out into the Detroit area as well. So we just finished up our 3rd year in Detroit.
Wow. Now, if you listen real hard, wait. Do you hear Tiffany Cole listening? I know you're listening,
Yes,
Tiffany.
Tiffany
I know you're
Cole.
listening, Tiffany. We love you. That's my editor, and I secured her from your Author's Brunch.
Yes.
She preached. Matter of fact, she was on my panel. So, and she spoke, and I was like, I think I want to hire this woman.
Yeah.
And so I gave her, pulled her to the side and gave her a quick interview. I was blown out the water.
Yeah. Now, when you say your panel, let's let the people know. At the Author's Brunch, there were several panels that we had.
Yes.
How to start and finish your book, how to publish your book, and then how to market your book. And as a result, so many different contacts were made because as you authors were up there speaking, you were
Right.
talking about the different services that you offer. Because a lot of times authors are not just authors. They are editors. They are publishers.
Right.
They are marketers. And when you begin to express that, you allow other people to know who you are and what it is that you do. And then
Indeed.
you guys connect and make great connections as a result.
Indeed, there was a lot of potential there. There were a lot of heavy hitters.
Yes.
Your main speaker, she just blew me out the water. And I was sitting next to her
Oh,
and
wow.
didn't know who she was. And when Dale came, told me who she was, I was like, wow. So I Googled her, and I was like, I'm sitting next to royalty.
Hermine Hartman,
Indeed.
the founder and publisher of Indigo Magazine.
Wow.
So, and that's the other thing that we do. We bring in national New York Times best-selling authors, so that our independent and aspiring authors will have an opportunity to meet and rub shoulders, take pictures, glean all types of information from people who have walked in their shoes and have become successful as a result.
So your first year, your first show, was it more than one show in a year or just once a year?
It was initially just once a year.
Okay. Where was that located?
The very first show was on 119th and Loomis.
Okay, south side of Chicago.
South side of Chicago.
Big up to Chicago. 7 years ago. Tell us about that.
So, when I decided to do this, I went in thinking I was going grand style.
Right.
And the lady asked me, she said, so how many people are you expecting? Now, this is my first event ever. It's like, about 150 to 200 people.
Right.
She was like, okay.
Right.
So I paid for 150 to 200 people.
Oh my.
We had about 75 people.
75 is not bad, though. That's not bad.
It's not bad, but if you are expecting twice that,
Indeed.
then that's an issue.
Indeed.
Especially when you have paid for that amount of people. But we put on a quality program. And word began to travel. And the next year, we doubled in size.
Beautiful.
So, the word says, don't despise humble beginnings. Whatever it is that you're doing, whether it is a huge success or a major flop, if the Lord has told you to do it, keep doing it, because you will begin to perfect whatever that craft is.
Right. One of my good buddies, my best friend in the world at the time, and we're still friends. So I'm not saying he's not my friend now, but when I started this literary journey, journey, we're a publishing company, so we paid the fees for the LLCs. We subcontract all illustrators, formatters, the whole nine. My very first book signing was a double book signing. Teach me how to play, and I'm special too. And my best friend was like, yeah, no.
No?
He said, yeah, no. He said, that's not going to work. You're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. And he's high-spirited, and so he's very passionate. He's me times two. I think that's powerful. You understand that?
Wow.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, she said, wow, because I'm nuclear all by myself. My new engineer is about to pass out because she's laughing so hard. And she just learned about me, so imagine that. I know, right? She's turning red, and she's not young.
She's a pretty brown girl, right? It's turning red.
Right. And so at the end of the day, when he said that, I was like, wow. So I expected like 7 people to show up. And we had about 75 people. And so I was like, wow. So I got a little high strung. So my next venue, we spent money. And I tell you, marketing-wise, it was the best thing ever because it got a name out there. And so you guys did well for us, and we did well for ourselves. But it was the St. Patrick's Day in Chicago.
Yes.
Nobody's going anywhere if it's not green. And so it didn't tank as far as notoriety. But as far as people are concerned,
so you had the exact opposite.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at that event.
I know, right?
I was there.
I know, I was too, unfortunately.
But here's the thing, you had a great attitude about it, and you went through with your plan. And that's the whole thing, because you never know who is going to be in the audience.
Indeed.
So whether it's one person or 100 people, as long as the right person or people are there, that is what will help propel you to the next level.
Marketing-wise, we hit a home run times two. I mean, we got the Grammy, we got the Oscar. It was unbelievable. Right. So people heard about us. We were on the radio. People just like, wow, we recognized the event, we recognized the name, and that's what got us started, and actually got us started with radio. We're going to take a commercial break. This commercial break is brought to you by Andre Spiritually Spoken CD, streaming now from all your streaming sites. Stream today and be blessed. Welcome back to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. We are with my very good buddy, Miss D A Rhodes. Now we're talking about the Artist Brunch. One last question. What's your inspiration, in short, for the Artist Brunch?
So initially my inspiration was, I was an author, and I needed a way to get my name and the word out about what I was doing. Okay. So I thought that was the reason why I was doing it. Right. But when I jumped into it and started connecting with all of the independent authors, then I realized that the real driving force was to help other authors get the help that they needed, and to help aspiring authors reach the next level as well.
Awesome,
So-
awesome. So it's a medium to promote yourself. And then doing so, you saw that you can iron sharpen iron, so you can
Exactly.
help somebody else. My mission statement, and it's biblical, if I can help someone, then my living won't be in vain. If I could help someone, then my living won't be in vain.
That's right.
And that's my whole children's books ministry. They say, hey, buddy, why don't you write for? Yeah, no, only kids.
Just kidding.
I have other books that's coming out, but right now, my focus, my mission are my children's books. We have 4 more that's on task to be released. We have a 7th book that you guys are going to hear about in February. It's in production right now.
Okay.
A wonderful illustrator, Miss Felicia Whaley. She's working on that. She's an award-winning illustrator now. Not for my books, but we're going to fix
Well,
that.
that'll happen
Indeed.
after February.
Indeed, because this book that's coming up is so phenomenal. It's going to be my best one.
Yes.
I promise you. The bullying book is wonderful. It's going to hit the world pretty soon. We're working on that. But as far as the 7th book, I think it's practical for everyone.
Okay.
And so, as an author, you mentioned your author. We have your book right here. And,
Yes.
Yes.
The Day Hate Stood Still.
right. And wow, we're going to talk about all your books. But when you wrote this wonderful book, every author has a secret place. Every author has a place where they go for privacy to create. I have what we call downtime. And so people know after 8:30, don't call me. I know, right? You can call, I just won't answer the phone.
Exactly.
And so when I'm in my downtime, I create. What's your secret place?
So I'll start with my secret time. It is anywhere between 5 and 6:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my time to write because I know no one is calling me at that time.
Okay.
All of my people are asleep. And my husband is gone to work at that point. So that's my time. My secret place, when I was in between husbands, used to be my bed. I would have my laptop in the bed with me.
Okay.
And I would just roll over, pick it up, and just start typing.
Right.
But now that I'm married again,
Right.
I actually have an office.
Right. Right. You have to go to the office.
So I go to my office, and my husband knows that when the door is closed, that I'm really doing what I'm doing. If the door is open and I'm in there, then it's cool. You can come in because
see.
I'm just
Right.
trying to get things together. But
Right.
once that door is closed, that's my time with my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so you have a literary group. Is that your publishing company?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the publishing company, right now I'm publishing my work.
Okay.
I haven't decided to take on other people as of yet, but in 2019 that's going to change. And
Okay.
we will be taking on others. But, I self-publish and I pretty much do everything. So once I write it, then I get my editor, I get the layout artist, and then I get my printer, and then I begin marketing the book.
Oh,
once
that's
it's
beautiful.
done.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So
So-
I do it myself. I don't go through any of the those publishing companies that you see on TV and
Right.
those things. I don't do that.
Right.
That's just my preference.
I get that.
Some people they don't necessarily want to go through the legwork of getting the ISBN number, your
Right.
barcode,
Right.
and all of
Which
those
is simple.
things. It is very
It's
simple.
Right.
But for some people, that's just not their thing. They just
Right.
want to write the book.
Right. We have a wonderful program, ladies and gentlemen, Andre Renee's publishing company. And our program, Andre Renee Writes Publishing Company, our program is very simple. You give us your manuscript. We charge you $250. We review your manuscript. Before we review it, we copyright it for you. We protect you up front. And so basically for a fee after the $250, which is a larger fee, of course, depending on the size of your book, we will put your whole book together. And we will upload your books to Ingram, to Ingram and CreateSpace, which is now KDP.
That's right.
And they actually do the rest for spending distribution. And then we have a few tricks to the trades. And since we don't take your royalties, we just charge you a flat fee. You have the ability to go and buy your own copies.
Yes.
Now, but if you go to some of these other publishing companies, here's the difference between mine. They'll charge you, if you're selling your books for $25, they'll charge you $20.
Yes.
You don't have to do that with me. You will get author copies for a low price of whatever the amount of pages equal to.
Yes.
So you
And
can
the
make
size of the book.
Indeed. So you can make a 60% profit. So if you join with us, if you join with me, if you join with her, because she's going to be doing this next year as well, you can make. We're black owned.
Yeah.
And we could actually do what the big people do, and we could do it at an affordable price, and we won't get you.
Right, and you will have a quality product at the end.
Indeed.
At the end,
Indeed.
and that's very important because nowadays so many people are able to self-publish, but the quality is not there.
Right.
And so when you go to a bookstore or when you're out vending at a table, you want your book to have the quality look
Right.
as someone who was published by a Simon & Schuster or
Right.
Harlequin or whatever.
The big six.
Your book needs to have that look.
Absolutely.
So when people initially glance at it, they're not just saying, "Oh, that must be self-published. It can't
Right.
be any good."
Indeed.
You know.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
What inspires your writing? I know, right?
Everything inspires my writing.
Okay.
We could be having a conversation, and I'm already thinking, that's a story right there. Growing up, my imagination was very active, a little overactive.
Okay.
And my mother was the first one to recognize that about me.
Okay.
And she told me, "You live in a dream world." I'm like, "How do you know what kind of world I live in? Nobody knows what's going on in my head."
Right.
But my mother, being who my mother is, she knew exactly that
Beautiful.
I was living in a dream world. And so I'm just able to create based on anything.
Right. When I have my downtime, I am relaxing, I'm meditating. Meditate is loose, that's a loose definition of what I do. And so I'm there and I have these awesome thoughts. And so I have a unique way of writing. I'm writing a book now. It's called Behind Her Smile. And it's geared towards teenagers. And it's about domestic abuse.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful thing, but it's a true thing. And I don't want to write it, but I was inspired to write it. I don't choose my topics. I don't choose my topics. My topics are solely inspired. So when I'm in my downtime, when I'm in my secret place, when things come to me, I make note.
Yes.
And then when I have my way of writing, because it's a real, and we teach my way of writing. You can have a book in 90 days for sure. Because
you can.
it's very wonderful. And so once I get what I need there, the meat and potatoes, I knew it was inspired. And so, but it's a needed thing. All of my books are here to help. It's not an entertaining. I don't have like a crime novel today. Maybe later on, but all of my books are entertaining. Helping children or helping those in need. So that's why I call it my ministry. My background is psychology. My background is theology. So of course I'm going to have that. How can I help you? And so when we come back, we want to ask about all of your books.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. This commercial break is brought to you by St. Augustine Episcopal Church in Gary, Indiana. Go visit. Share your post.
Do your children love to read? We have a wonderful line of children's books that you will find
Let me put
at
my-
You got 20 seconds.
Can I put my
www.arrights.com.
Oh, you did.
You got 5 seconds.
W-R-I-T.
No, that's the other one. Andre Renee.
Do you
Writes.
love poetry?
I'm sorry, you have 10 seconds. 10 seconds, okay?
No, that's the
On
other
your
one.
streaming sites,
But you can like that too.
type in
I did like
You
it.
have 5 seconds. 4, 3.
Hey, if we don't stop talking, they're going to catch us after the commercial break, and then we're going to seem like that we're not ready.
We're not prepared.
So, how many seconds do we have left? Oh, we're live. Oh, Jesus! Welcome to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. This is what happens when I have a friend in studio.
Yes.
And
yes,
she,
I am your friend.
yes, indeed. Now, I met you here at the Crawford Broadcasting Studios.
Yeah.
And shout out to Crawford. If you want to be a sponsor, Crawford, send you a check to.
D A Rhodes. No.
I know, right? Oops.
No, you can always call if you want to be a sponsor for you or just.
I was actually joking, but if you want to be a
okay.
sponsor, yeah, call in. Call me directly. How about we do that? How many books have you penned?
So I have published 2 books, and I am in the process of doing my 3rd book. We have the first draft completed for that.
Okay.
But I just came out with the second one a month ago.
Okay.
And this one is The Day Hate Stood Still. So it is part 2 of a series. The first book is entitled Why, and it won an award for literary fiction in 2015.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I am taught the subject matter is child molestation. Yes.
That's Behind Her Smile. Wow.
Exactly. So with Why, we are talking about the Box family,
Okay.
who migrates from East St. Louis to Chicago in the early 60s. And when they get to Chicago, a murder takes place within their family. So now they decide that it's time to open up and tell the family secrets as to why this murder happened. But I even allow the murdered victim to tell their side of the story too. And people are like, how in the world do you do that? Well, you have to purchase the book in order to find out how that's done. But the part two is the day hate stood still. Because when a family goes through the traumatic things that they went through in this first book, there has to come a point, there has to be a point of forgiveness and redemption.
Indeed.
And so this is where we are with the day hate stood still.
Wow.
How does this family move forward from the tragedy that they've experienced?
How can we purchase this wonderful book?
You can purchase it on Amazon, or you can always go to my website, therhodesliterarygroup.com.
Okay, that's wonderful. Amazon and your website.
Yes.
That's beautiful. So they need to go out and buy that today.
Yes, they do.
And
or if you see me in the streets, I always have a copy in my trunk.
I know that's right. They asked me at church today. They said, the next time you come to church, can you please have your... I said, don't play no games with me. I got 6 copies of... all 6 of my copies today.
Yeah,
I could accommodate.
I always have a suitcase full of books in my trunk.
And I accept all major credit cards. I accept cash. I accept everything but your kids. Because you got to take them back.
Oh, and also, just to let people know, I will be at Miss Elise Boutique next Saturday from 1 to 3 doing a book signing in Highland, Indiana.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so she's located 2235 45th Street in Highland.
Wonderful. And that's when again?
Saturday, December 8th. From 1 until 3 p.m. I'll be signing copies and reading excerpts from the brand new book, The Day Hate Stood Still.
Wow. And so, and that invite, I'm looking through my phone now, and I'm checking my Palm Pilot, and I didn't get
You'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I missed the last book.
2235. You missed the last book signing?
Because I was at the mall. Remember?
2235. Will you be at the mall this time?
No, I won't go. I'm not going back to the mall till January the 3rd or something like that.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, I expect to see you from 1 to 3, 2235 45th Street, Highland, Indiana.
Copy that. We have this segment that's called, What Would Jesus Do? Now, what would Jesus do? I know, right? We do it every Sunday. So what would Jesus do? So I got a question before we start that. Out of all the shows that you work here, out of all the shows that's here, which one is your favorite?
Andre Renee, right?
I love that. Andre Renee's Creative Cafe is her favorite show, and we love you for
On Sundays.
On Sundays at 6:30. Listen, so what would Jesus do? This is wonderful. We're both authors. Would Jesus write a book? If he was here, would Jesus write a book?
No.
Jesus wouldn't write a book. Why not?
He would have someone else write the book like he did initially.
He did that already. But would he write? But remember, Jesus is walking among us now.
No.
He wouldn't write a book.
No, he doesn't have time to do that.
Okay.
He wouldn't have time to do that, no.
Jesus would not write a book. I was thinking he would.
No. He would have his other people do it. He would be too busy still doing the things he did when he was here.
Show you right.
Saving souls, healing the sick, raising the dead, helping the blind to see, figuratively and literally.
Indeed.
Yeah, so.
I think he would get on these pastors, not like punish them. Maybe we do that as well. But he would have like this real big Jesus Community Center or Jesus LLC or something like that. And all these preachers come and really preach the word for real. It's like this, it wasn't intended that way. And so this is how it's intended.
And maybe
so,
give them a glass of wine to cool them out.
I know, right? And lay off the offerings. You see that? It's just like so many.
Yeah.
We have a morning service. Listen, guys, remember, in this day and times, it's rough. You hear all these negative things that's going on. And so she said Jesus wouldn't write a book. I think he will. But what we all can do is show love. We need to show love to someone. December 10th, I will be at Lake County Juvenile Detention Center. And I'm talking, and that's my way of giving back as well. And I write for the kids. I'm trying to show love. When you show love, you show God, because God is love. Every Sunday, I tune in to 102.3 at 6:30. Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. Know this, we love you. We need you. Support us. Buy her book. And once again,
Rejoice. The Rhodes Literary Group.com.
Amen. God bless you.
And Jesus would write his book through us.
Us meaning us or us meaning y'all?
Us. Me and you.
Show you right. Are we still live? Because we talking.
Thanks for tuning in.
There we go. Speak up. Speak up.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
On our Facebook.
Yeah.
Thank you.